Hi, this is Toni Wade, the Compassionate Investor, and I am here with my friend Ben Dow, who is the 5-Minute Landlord. He's got an amazing podcast. Check him out. And we're here to talk about wholesaling, which y'all know I said as I opened this up that I had made $80,000 my first year in doing wholesaling, and that was with me being green. So we're going to talk about this topic for a little bit. Now, do you do wholesaling, Ben?
I've done wholesaling before, but I realized that it wasn't for me, so this is going to be an interesting episode.
So let's talk about that, and when I got into it, I didn't know whether it was for me or not, but I was at a state where I didn't have a lot of capital that I wanted to invest in this because I was really green, and I didn't really want to do any flips, which we could talk about flips all day long. Most people, when they think of real estate, that's the first thing they think about is
fix and flip.
Fix and flip. Now, I'm just going to say I did try that, but everything I tried, this was the thing that really stuck, was wholesaling, because you didn't need any capital, you just need to understand how it works. So in a nutshell, how it works is wholesaling is where you find a property that you can get under contract for as low as you can get it, and then you take that contract and you sell that contract and assign it to another individual. Now, if you got it for 50, and let's say you sold it for 75, you made a $25,000 spread between that and that contract. So that's what they call wholesaling. Now, I love it because think about it. You get to structure the deal. You get to make it how you want to make it. That's what made that so exciting. So in a nutshell, that's what wholesaling is. Let's talk about briefly, Ben, like how do you go about finding wholesale deals?
Yeah. There's a few ways to do it, but when I grew up, I was taught that you have to send a lot of mail. That's where you get a lot of the we buy houses type of thing. So is that what you did?
So when I did it, yeah, I had a nice little postcard. Me and my husband, I'll show you a little picture of what that looks like in a minute, but we had a nice little postcard that would go out. We found a lot of absentee owners who had properties, and we sent out mailing lists. And that can be pretty pricey to do when you get into that. That's how we started, but we realized we did better because I didn't get a lot of leads from that. I actually found a lot of my leads through the tax sale, believe it or not. When I started learning about the tax sale and how you could come in and get a good property really, really low, and then I was able to then sell that to somebody who had, the desire to have that property, I made and found most of my deals that way. I also had a lot of people who were going out and finding properties. That was one of my favorite things to do, is actually go find properties that we could get.
Like a bird dog, like driving for dollars?
Yeah, driving for dollars. And that was how I was able to find my deals. But for someone who is very diligent, at postcards, they can work, right?
Yeah. There's a few other examples of how to get leads as well. Online. So a lot of people set up landing pages. So if you search, sell my home fast in whatever city, you can actually rank high, and people can, if they're interested, they'll put their information, and then you can call them back.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I will tell you, you can learn a lot of this stuff going online, to be honest with you, and get out here and figure out how to find deals. But it's only until, and I want to encourage you, whatever it is that you do, give it some time. Don't do something for a month, oh, that didn't work, and doing something else another month, that didn't work, because we did that and it didn't work so well because we were constantly starting and stopping. You have to give it some time to grow, at least 3 to 6 months for you to start seeing traction from what it is that you're doing. And you also have to make sure you've got enough money set aside to pay for that, because postcards and sending that stuff out, even though it's a postcard and it's cheap, it's still money you have to be committed to putting out there to getting those properties. So I want to say, don't get in here and do it for a month and say it doesn't work, because you only gave it a month. You can't really test it out. So whatever it is that you do and whatever it is that you choose as the way in which you go about doing it, that's the way that you're going to have to do it consistently. Now, I do want to share something that I got, and like I said, I still wholesale today. I don't do it a lot because they come to me now. A lot of deals come to me because people know I've been doing this, for 13 years. So people, hey, I want to sell my house. Let's call Toni. And I'll get a lead. It looks like something good I can market. I'll make a few $1,000s and I keep it moving. But this is what I actually got in the mail, and I was excited. And I think, didn't you say you got something?
I actually
like
got the same letter too from the same guy.
So this guy sent this out, and what was so appealing, because when I got the envelope, it looked like this. I was like, dang, I got a check, right? That was the first thing I saw, is that I had a check in the mail, and it made me open it. So whatever it is that you choose to do, you want to do something that's going to make somebody open your envelope. They got the yellow letters. They've got all these other things.
Handwritten,
the handwritten
postcards.
letters. Yeah, and I turned my face up only because I didn't like doing any of them. I didn't like it. But when I saw this, and this is because they were sending it to me because I've got properties that they're trying to buy. And it immediately made me open it, and it made me say, huh. And they actually, and it's actual for the amount they were willing to pay me for this property, right?
Yeah.
Which
it's an actual offer.
It's an actual offer that they're offering to buy this property for this amount. That made me open the mail. So if you're out here looking for and getting lists for absentee owners and you want a strategy, I would encourage you to look at this check model, because I'm telling you, it made me open it, and I'm an experienced person that does this. When you've been doing this as long as we have, we get these all the time. They go right in the trash.
I get tons of them.
Tons. But this one here, I was like, oh, let me see what that is. And I gave it actually to my husband, because I said, babe, I think we need to start doing this, because yeah, this would make you open it immediately. So I would encourage you, as you are thinking about what works for you in finding properties, get down and write out exactly how you're going to go about doing that. Now, I welcome the opportunity to share some information with you. If you want to send me a message or shoot something to me, I'll gladly walk you down the path or guide you down the right direction of who you can work with, especially locally, because we know all the players here. But definitely getting into a space where you do know how to find the deals, that is another strategy. It is making sure you just know how to do that. Any other strategies that you use on finding deals?
So the big ones are SEO, direct mail, driving for dollars.
Which we'll talk about driving for dollars briefly. Driving for dollars is basically where you're just driving in a nice neighborhood and seeing how a property looks to be able to determine whether you want to do some more on it. Feel free to look at that episode. We'll have something out there shortly related to property finding and how you go about being a property finder. We can talk about that in more detail. So definitely utilizing this as a resource to helping you find deals. One other way that I didn't mention, Craigslist. We forgot about Craigslist. Craigslist was another way that we would go to Craigslist and look for specific properties. We actually used to scrape Craigslist back when you could do it.
I've done it too.
Can you still do that now?
There's bots, but I used to just email owners.
Yeah, and I actually text messages. I don't send emails out. I'll send them a text message through the system, and sometimes they respond, sometimes they don't. And the goal in that was to make sure that it sounded like unique and genuine. It wasn't just some staple thing. I was really very personable in how I communicated with them. So as you think about finding your deals in wholesaling, because it is critical in finding a deal, we'll share some more information on how you can structure the deal. So definitely take a look in just a moment.